Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in to the Vegas Sportscast. I'm Bill O'Donnell with Ron Futrell here. We are coming at you live as well as on the podcast recorded if you guys are listening later, but it is a beautiful Wednesday night here. We got lots of stuff to talk about for sports. What do we got on the table tonight, Ron?
First of all, we're on the rooftop. That I do like to set the scene a little bit. We are hanging out at your house on the rooftop in Northwest Las Vegas.
That's
basically.
Right, and it is a gorgeous, gorgeous night.
It is beautiful. Hold on, I'm adjusting the mic. I don't know whether you can probably hear the creaking.
Yeah,
a little bit there, but adjusting the mic. Okay, getting everything together. Special thanks to the boss for the intro music there, Bruce Springsteen.
Another great '80s song.
No, this is Badlands, and Badlands is such a great song. I mean, it is. Hold on, let's You got a little lover in you. No, that is. I just felt in the Badlands mood tonight. Okay, so of all the stuff going on here, we got a ton of stuff in Vegas sports. I went to the Golden Knights exhibition opener last night. We're doing this on a Wednesday evening on Bill's rooftop. So I went to the exhibition opener. Loved it. Absolutely. Thought it was great. We'll talk in more detail there. They lost in overtime to the LA Kings. A little bit torn. It was the first time I saw my LA Kings.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, your team against your new team.
Going up against my new team. And it was, first of all, I was confused by the uniforms, and this still bothers me to this day, that the NHL about 5 years ago changed, and they made home jerseys dark jerseys.
Yeah.
Okay, I grew up my whole life. The home team wasn't white. The home team wasn't white. The home team wasn't white. Every hockey game I've seen that's been burned into my brain. Okay?
Yeah, I mean it's across a lot of sports. It's that way. So
it was burned into my brain so my first reaction when I go there, the Knights. Look at it. Is that the color of their jerseys? I see them in the white. No, wait a minute. That's the Kings. Oh, the Knights from the dark jerseys. Okay. And I know I sound like Grandpa Ron when I say this. But I say a lot of things I'm Grandpa Ron. But it's like seared into, and I know it. I've done news stories on how they've changed the jerseys now. But still, when you go there and see it, that is still a little bit confusion, and old-time hockey fans.
Well, I guess for you, it's good because you were cheering for both teams, so it doesn't really matter.
Who scored that goal? Was that the Kings? Was that the Knights? I don't know. The team in white scored, the home team. So yeah, I've gotten past the Kings. Kings are my number 2 team. Okay, and I would go with them playing for the Western Conference Finals every year forever. Won't happen. By the way, I found out the quickest that an NHL team has made the Stanley Cup playoffs in the modern era. Before the expansion teams had to.
Yes. Yeah, my wife still, the Blues made the playoffs every,
3 years in a row.
Yeah, and I'm like,
finals.
They had to. Yeah, they were the expansion team, and it was mandated.
So, that aside, the last 25 years, the last quarter century, the fastest an expansion team has made the playoffs is 3 years. So, with that, get ready, Las Vegas. It's if they make it sooner than that, that will be an aberration. It'll be great. I'd love to see it happen, but that's typically what happens.
So, what was the final score?
So it was 3-2 in overtime. The Kings won with a goal 12 seconds into the overtime, but we'll talk more about that during the show because we've got that. Oh, we've also got the NFL week. Is this 4? Week 4 coming up. The take a knee stuff that happened all with Donald Trump's comments and that. We're going to touch on that, along with NCAA. All hell is broken loose in college basketball. Is that?
It is. We are in the. Well, the thing is, it shouldn't really be a surprise. It really shouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk a little bit more about that. I mean, it's a lot of people are equating it as the worst kept secret in college sports, but now the FBI is involved, and that's when it becomes serious.
Oh no, that's when you really get. And this is much of it involves Rick Pitino in Louisville. I've got a Vegas story with Rick Pitino that we'll share a little bit later in covering him. He almost came here as coach.
Yeah. I mean,
20 years ago, 17 years ago, he almost came here as the UNLV coach twice. You can argue that they were real close to hiring him, and they wanted to get him from Louisville at one point, and before he went to Louisville. So I've got some insight into that, doing sports back then, and remember still pretty fresh of exactly what happened there. So we'll give it a Vegas tie-in.
And we got a big game coming up this weekend for UNLV, San Jose State.
Yes, big game. Yes, I can't think of anything bigger than that.
Huge.
And that reminds me, Saturday the NASCAR trucks are in town. So that's happening here in Las Vegas. This is a Vegas Sportscast.
Yep.
So NASCAR trucks out at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, they're doing a special event Friday out at City National Arena where they're going to have some of the NASCAR drivers out there on the ice with some of the hockey players.
Oh, wow.
They won't be skating. They'll be on, like, carpeted stuff, I'm assured. That we're not going to get any head trauma from them falling.
So you say NASCAR trucks.
NASCAR trucks,
Now,
yes.
I'm not familiar with that, to be honest.
It's a Craftsman Truck Series. It would sort of be, as the Nationwide Series used to be the Busch Series, is the AAA for NASCAR. This is sort of the AA,
Okay.
if you will, for
But
NASCAR.
they're actually in trucks.
Oh, they're in trucks.
Like pickup trucks.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Little small Craftsman trucks, or they're different brands, but small trucks.
Interesting. Yeah, a lot of people, I saw some free tickets being given away for the NASCAR Truck Series, and I'm like, I've never heard of this in my life.
Yeah, it was the first. In fact, the first NASCAR event out at the big track at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway was a weekend where they did it was called the Busch Series at the time, the now Nationwide Series, I think. And it's hard to keep track. Seriously, it's changing so often. I might say Winston Cup at some point, okay? And that goes way back with the main series. But you had a situation where the trucks and the cars, so the Craftsman Truck Series at the time and the Busch Series at the time, came out here the weekend. It was a year, this had to be 97, 96, probably 96, 97 in that range. So 20 years ago, where they raced out there then, and then the following years when they brought what was Winston Cup at the time series here.
See, I'm still waiting for like the Mario Kart races. I mean,
they might have those in the short, probably on one of the shorter tracks. I don't know if they're going to put it in the 1.5 mile oval, but you might get it on one of the shorter tracks.
Multi-tiered races with shells and stuff like that. Oil slicks.
So oil slicks. So this is and the pipes that you go down, and that's the tubes and things. This is a great time for sports in Las Vegas. There's a lot of things happening, a lot of stuff going on. So Bill, you've been working on the website, got the website nailed down, and
finally, it is done. So all we can do is populate it, and I see that a lot of people have been going to it. A lot of traffic. So it's great.
And that's at thevegasportscast.com. You can go there. Download this podcast a bunch of different places besides that website.
Yeah, you can actually go to the website and listen right on the sidebar. So, and then obviously Apple, iTunes, and Google Play. We're on there, as well as iHeartRadio, Spreaker. We're all over the place. So, and also on we always post our stories and podcasts on our Twitter. So we're
So spread the word.
We're taking over the world.
Spread the word. Tell a friend. Let people know what we're doing here. Download it, and
we're using the strategic move while ESPN is still trying to reel from its bruises of all the people boycotting. We're jumping in.
I'm unfamiliar with that. What you just said. That acronym. That 4-letter acronym.
Oh, ESPN. Yeah.
Oh, is it a new group? Eastern Sports.
Professional network.
Okay. Eastern Sports Professional Network. Okay. Probably something as old and dilapidated as Big East basketball.
It's the perfect time for us to unseat them as the number one sports.
Watch out. When Dan Patrick left, all hell broke loose, and we're replacing it. Okay. So, where do we begin? Let's start with Bill. Eeny, meeny, miny.
Well, first of all, I mean, the biggest stories in sports this week have nothing to do with the actual sports, and that comes in two different forms. So let's start with football. Okay. We'll just, that's still. I think people are kind of sick of hearing it, but we would do a disservice by not even talking about it. I personally am. I think a lot of people are fed up with it, with all the stuff going on. Obviously, we just celebrated, and I don't want to say celebrated, but we just hit our 1-year anniversary from when Colin Kaepernick took his initial knee last year during the national anthem. So that 1 year happened, just a couple days ago. And with that, what you saw was a sporadic group of individuals taking a knee during the anthem over the past few weeks. So with us being in, first week 1 and week 2 of the NFL was just a few individuals. In fact, I think it was 14 people only that were taking a knee. And I say only lightly. Obviously, it's a very serious thing to some people. But it was Donald Trump's comments that you had mentioned, Ron, at a rally that he had for a lot of his supporters, that he called them sons of bitches, and he said, "Get them off the field. Owners should fire them." All the people that are taking knees. From that point on, it it set off quite a firestorm. This with week 3 of the of football, and I think we saw the first iteration of that on Thursday night. It was L.A. Rams against
San Francisco.
The San Francisco 49ers.
L.A. Rams, by the way, with the ugly, just hideous jerseys. Okay, my Rams. I'm going to go. L.A. Rams come back and they get those. I love the white jerseys. Okay, that they're going back old school and got rid of the yellow. They have a little spot of yellow on each shoulder with their jerseys, I guess, is an homage to the St. Louis days when they were, and part of the old L.A. days, they were that yellow. Eric Dickerson, when he was in L.A., had that little spotch of yellow on it, so it had more yellow. But so they go back to more the all dark blue and white helmets, which is Fearsome Foursome, Roman Gabriel, my Rams. And then on Thursday night, get to watch the full game, and they go with these just hideous bumblebee uniforms.
They went with their version of what the color rush is. So it's obviously that did gave us the first sneak peek into what the weekend would bring towards the NFL protests. Sunday, really, you saw, teams and players that you would have never expected to take a knee, take a knee during the anthem. In fact, even my team, the New England Patriots, oddly enough, the Patriots, 7 players took a knee on the Patriots. So the red, white, and blue patriotic Patriots, whose mascot is the symbol of freedom of the Minuteman that that fought in the Revolution to win our country. But 7 players took a knee. The entire Pittsburgh Steelers -1. So you saw that. The entire Steelers, they stayed in the locker room. Really, they were in the walkout tunnel during the anthem, and they stayed out there except for one individual who actually was, and I'm drawing a blank on his name if you know by any chance, but he actually...
With the Steelers?
With the Steelers.
Alejandro Villanueva.
Yeah. So he...
Army Ranger, I believe.
Yeah, Army Ranger, fought in Afghanistan, Bronze Star medal winner. I don't say winner, but he earned it. He earned it. Obviously, veteran, fought in the war, and he took a few steps out and actually, saluted the flag and did his part while the rest of the Steelers stayed behind. And it was respectful. And then he came out and he apologized for it because it seems that he was getting some backlash from the rest of the team. So it's
okay. And it's insane. Let's go here. First of all, it's insane that we're even having this discussion and going through this. Starters. Okay. People idiotically say, well, it's their First Amendment right. They have the right,
and
free speech.
I will say that too.
Well, and of course it is. Of course it is. And nobody that's like saying the sky is blue.
Yeah.
Okay, we all agree the sky is blue. Okay, we agree the sky. The Earth is round. The Earth is round. Okay, it is. They're not going to jail for this.
Correct.
Now, as I say, that's what the First Amendment says. The First Amendment says that the government cannot take and put you in jail for your speech. Okay. That's not happening. These people aren't going to jail. There was a time in this country, pre-Patriots, way pre-Patriots, pre-1776, where you could go to jail for your speech, and there are countries in the world today where you can go to jail for your speech.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
That being said, you want to say that, go ahead, say it, get it out of the way. We all agree. There's no point of contention there. Nobody says these people should go to jail. That's what the First Amendment says, is that they will not be jailed or imprisoned or have harmed by the government. What's exact? Okay, I got to find First Amendment.
So, and